I'm going to solve the sixth question of 2015 chemistry. The mixture of carbonates contains magnesium carbonate and calcium carbonate in 5:1 mole ratio. When a known mass of this mixture is heated, the CO2 formed occupied a volume of 134.4 decimeter cube at standard temperature and pressure. The mass of the carbonate mixture heated is, they're asking there. So we can solve this question mentally actually. This question can be solved mentally. The thing is, you got to use some mathematical techniques, right? You have to be smart at math. I'll teach you how to do it. First we'll discuss that in depth. A magnesium carbonate becomes, upon heating, when you heat magnesium carbonate, it becomes magnesium oxide and CO2. When you heat calcium carbonate, it becomes calcium oxide and CO2. Now they have mentioned the ratio, the molar ratio of magnesium carbonate is to calcium carbonate is 5:1. So N magnesium carbonate is to N calcium carbonate is what? They mentioned 5:1. If I have 5 moles of magnesium carbonate, I have 1 mole of calcium carbonate. That's the meaning. 5:1. Right? Okay. Now look at this. So N magnesium carbonate is to N calcium carbonate. 5:1. Now they say 134.4 decimeter cube of CO2 occupied. Now CO2 occupies a volume of 134.4 decimeter cube at standard temperature and pressure. Now you know at standard temperature and pressure, 1 mole of gas occupies a volume of 22.4 decimeter cube. 22.4 decimeter cube is occupied by 1 mole of a gas at standard state. That means 22.4 decimeter cube per mole. Can you understand if I multiply this by x moles? If I multiply this by x moles, moles cancel, and I get the volume of x moles. This gives you what? The volume of x moles. Let's use the similar idea. I have 134.4 decimeter cube. If I divide this by 22.4 decimeter cube per mole, what will happen? Decimeter cube cancels, and I get mole up. Then I get the moles of carbon dioxide. If I divide 134.4 by 22.4, what do I get? The moles of carbon dioxide. This is going to give you what? In CO2. Because we said carbon dioxide occupies 134.4 decimeter cube. And we know at standard state, 1 mole occupies 22.4 decimeter cube. Therefore, mole goes up. Then you get NCO2. How can you solve this mentally? I'm going to see 134.4 as 120. I'm going to do an assumption. I'm going to assume 134.4 to be 120. But if I do that, I'll reduce down also. If I reduce up, I'll reduce down. 22.4 is reduced to 20. I'm going to see this. 20 times 6 gives you 120. I saw this as 120. I saw this as 20. And 20 times 6 gives you what? 120. But I'll see whether I'm correct. I'm correct. Why? If I multiply 2.4 by 6, what do I get? 14.4. 2.4 times 6 is what? 14.4. Because 20 times 6 is what? 120. 4 times 6 is what? Yeah, 4 times 6 is 24. Therefore, I get 144. Take 1 decimal place back, I get 14.4. If you don't understand the simplification step, it's okay. You can solve using normal methods. But for the ones who can understand this, use these logistics. So 134.4 divided by 22.4. You can think like 120 divided by 20. Yeah, why am I saying this? Because look at the answers. We have answers 52 grams, 520 grams, 750 grams, 900 grams, 1040 grams. All are what? Having nice values, no decimals. Therefore, it should be a clean simplification. So I get NCO to be what? 6 moles. This CO2 plus this CO2 gives me 6 moles. If I have what? 1 mole here. If I have 5 moles here, I should have here what? 1 mole here. How I saying that? That some children can understand, some can't. So let's explain very simply. The ratio of magnesium carbonate is to calcium carbonate is 5:1. That means if I have 5 moles of calcium carbonate, I'm going to get 5 moles of CO2 and 5 moles of magnesium oxide. If I have 1 mole of calcium carbonate, I'm going to get 1 mole of calcium oxide and 1 mole of CO2. My assumption is correct. Why? Total number of carbon dioxide moles means what? 5 moles plus 1 mole, that's equal to what? 6 moles. Therefore, we have taken 5 moles of magnesium carbonate and 1 mole of calcium carbonate. Because the stoichiometry is 1, 1, 1 here, we can say moles of magnesium carbonate should be equal to magnesium oxide as well as carbon dioxide. I hope it's clear. I have 5 moles of magnesium carbonate. Then what's the mass of magnesium carbonate? Do it mentally. Magnesium means 24. Carbon means 12. Oxygen means what? 16. 24 plus 12 plus 16 times 3. I'm going to see this separately. Carbon means 12. 16 times 3 means what? 48. So 48 plus 12 means what? 60. 60 plus 24 means what? 84. 84 times 5 means what? 420. How do we get that directly? Why? 84 times 10 is what? 84 times 10 is what? 840. Then 84 times 5 should be what? Yeah, half of it. 420. Done. So I have what? 420 grams. Why? Number of moles times the molecular weight gives you what? The mass. You know that the mass is equal to what? Molecular weight times number of moles. Because N means mass divided by molecular weight. Therefore, what we did was this. 5 moles times what? The molecular weight of magnesium carbonate gives you the mass, 420 grams. I'm doing this question to improve your thinking. Right? This is not how I normally teach this. This is because for the ones who really want to do questions fast, they ask me, how can you do questions really fast? Therefore, this is how we do it. Calcium carbonate, 1 mole, times the molecular weight. You know CO3 means what? 60, we calculated that before. Calcium molecular weight is 40, they have given that. So 40 plus 60 means 100. 100 grams per mole times 1 mole gives you 100 grams. That was the mass here, 100 grams. 420 grams plus 100 grams gives you what? 520 grams. That was total mass of the carbonate mixture. 520 grams. Done. Right.